Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about a very important subject, which I feel if you're a person who is trying to manifest anything in your reality, whether it's a business, whether it's a relationship, whether it's just wanting to elevate yourself from where you are today, this important topic called self-love. Self-love. It's paramount to self-development. So what are we talking about? You have to love yourself enough to know that you deserve better. This can either be in a relationship that you're currently in. I'm not even talking about romantic relationship. I am just talking about the relationship that you're currently in with yourself, with your family, with the people that you live with your workplace, your colleague, with the environment, the dynamic of the environment of where you live, and then another elevation to maybe romantic relationships, colleagues, etc., etc. But you have to understand that you have to love yourself enough to know that whatever external relationship you're going to have is going to be serving you. That means it's for your highest good, and it's going to elevate you, and it's going to be actually good for you in the long run. So what do we talk about self-love? What do we mean? So number one, I hope you're all taking notes, okay? So we have to love ourselves first by sit with yourself. Number one, meditate. Why is it important to meditate? Because you're going inside, you're going inward. You're going to actually tune in to a frequency of yourself. You're going inside your mind, your soul, your heart, and that way it's going to help you to tune in and to understand yourself as a person. So by finding out who you are, because you'll be surprised how many people don't even actually know themselves, because we are so tuned into the frequency of the outside of the society that we have forgotten of who we are, why we have come to this lifetime. So if you actually take time every morning, even just 5-10 minutes, to meditate, to tune in into yourself and to find out, who am I? Why am I here? What have I come for? It's going to help you on this journey of self-love. So when you meditate, you learn about yourself, about you. You feel, because you're in a place and in an environment where there's no judgment. You're trying to learn about yourself, so you're going to feel all the emotions that you need to feel. And that way, when you feel them, you're going to understand what you need to release. So when you feel, close your eyes, you feel that feeling, and you know, okay, this is where I am. And obviously it's going to take you time. Close your eyes, feel those emotions. These are emotions that are important to make you to understand who you are. Are you anxious? Are you agitated? Are you feeling down? Are you stressed? What's stressing you? So in a way, you start to think, okay, I'm feeling stressed today. I'm feeling so anxious. Why? Because maybe I'm going for this job, and at this job, so that way you're learning, okay, this job where I'm going, what's making me feeling anxious about it? Is this the pressure of the job? Is it the work people that you work with? Or is it the clients that you encounter? Is it so that way it makes you understand even yourself on a daily basis. What's happening to me today? What am I feeling? What are emotions? What am I going to do about it? So all this is going to help you to get to this self-love. Because why it's important to meditate? Why is it important to feel? And why is it important to learn about yourself? Because it's going to help you to understand that I have a lot of baggage and emotions that I need to release. So by releasing these emotions, release emotions and feelings on a daily basis of what doesn't serve you. So this can actually not just be emotions, just feelings. How do we most of the time release these feelings and emotions? You can want to release them, but if you are in, we call this PPT, in a place, let's change. So if you are in these 3 factors that are important, that helps you to elevate and become new. And what do we mean by becoming new? You become that great version of yourself that you've been trying to be through self-love. But for you to be able to get to this self-love, you will have to release these 3 things: places, people, things that are not aligning with your new self, with where you want to be, with your journey of going on to a self-discovery of self-love. So these places can be, usually most of the time, this environment can either be a workplace. That's a big one, because most workplaces, you'd be surprised, are very toxic. It can be a workplace. It can be even a country that you feel like it's not helping you to achieve, to get to where you want to be. It can also be even just your neighborhood. You feel you don't belong, or you feel like it's not making you to thrive. So these places, if you get rid of them, that is big number 1, big step. And through getting rid or changing this place, it's going to help you to change this place. Because when you change your workplace, you're going to meet new people who are going to align, hopefully, with you. So when you change, look at what you don't like about this place. Is it the people? Is it the environment? What about it? So hopefully when you go you're going to meet new people that are going to align with you. You're going to be maybe in a new country that is in alignment with your values. So for example, I know somebody who left the Western world and moved to New Zealand. Why? Because they wanted nature. They felt like where they were living in the Western world, it was too developed. If you know England, for example, United Kingdom, Germany, all these kind of first world countries, New York, America, is mainly concrete jungle, tall buildings, everybody rushing around, everybody in a rushing not even for themselves, rushing to go and work, to get a job and work, get money, pay bills, and it's a revolving circle. So that individual that was talking to you said, no, I want time for me. I want a tranquil environment that even if I'm working, I still have time to get outside the window and admire nature. I still want to see a mountain. I still want to see flowers. I still want to see bees and birds bustling about. I still want to feel alive, and I want to have a job. So fortunately, this person was working in tech. So she ended up working online but living in New Zealand, somewhere where there was beautiful mountains, good nature. She could see the trees, she could hear the sounds of birds, and she felt alive. She said instantly this raised her frequency and vibration. She was waking up every day. When she meditates, it was a different kind of meditation. This was a meditation now of gratitude, because she had felt that she has reached that ultimate of self-love, self-acceptance, that inner peace which she didn't have before when she was living in Germany. So places, people, and obviously through that she was meeting different kind of people who of course aligned with her at that stage of her life. Why? Because most of these people had a slower pace of life. No one was rushing on the tube to go anywhere. People were just waking up in the morning, walking their dog, or tending their gardens. Just happiness, peace. The sun is there, the beautiful weather. I mean, she said, I felt new. I felt a whole new purpose of why I came to this planet. And this elevated it to have actually time for herself and feel that self-love through just changing the places and people that she knew, and obviously things. That means even her own activities had changed. Instead of her waking up every day and rushing for a coffee in the morning, rushing. It's all about running and rushing and running and rushing to get the train, to go to work. Run. There was no other routine. It was just a revolving circle stuck in the system. And these were things that she could not let go of, because she needed the bills, she needed to pay a mortgage, she needed to eat, she needed all sorts. But then she felt like all her life was just that. And it didn't help her to cultivate self-love, because she just felt like, that's what she was about. And the stress that was coming because of all this rushing every day didn't help her to get to this ultimate self-love. So by releasing places, people, and things, it helped her. It calmed her down, gave her time and internal peace, made her to focus more on what is important. And she said, if I love myself, or if I want to get to where I can feel like I love myself, what am I going to do? I need to get out of this environment. I need to leave this workplace. I need to leave this neighborhood. I need to actually cultivate new routines that is going to help me to find internal peace, to find time for myself, to find time to just be quiet and feel. Because self-love is great. This is going to tie in with the third factor. The third factor, let's wrap this. You're going to see, I need a little strength for this, to wrap this board. So the third factor, you're going to see that for you to be able to feel, and for you to be able to actually listen to yourself, it's going to help you via healing. You have to heal. I don't care what kind of background you have. Healing, you have to heal yourself. Believe it or not, there's a lot of trauma that we could have gone through even as children that we didn't even know. There is a lot of trauma that we have gone through even as children that we didn't even know. Even just waking up every day, not having time for yourself, Monday to Sunday, some of people, it's never ending. It's a lot of trauma that we're making, that we're doing to ourselves, to our physical body, to our mental body, to our emotions. Not having time to actually saying, okay, I want to exercise, I want to eat healthy, I want this. You can want 100 things, but if you don't have time is the biggest resource, the most important. time is the most important resource, I think, in the world. It's essential. If you don't have time, you have nothing. And you'll be surprised how many billions of people lack this resource. And when you lack this resource, you never actually get time to know who you are. And by not knowing who you are, you can never actually know how to love yourself. Because how can you love something that you don't know? Right now, if I'll give you an example. If there is a woman there or a man that comes and approaches you, you're not just going to fall in love with that person. Why? Because you don't know that person. So what are you going to do? You're going to take time to get to know that person, right? You're going to see, do I align with that person? Do I like their character? Do I like the conversation? Do I like spending time with them? Do we actually have things in common? So it's going to take time. That's why you start by liking someone, and then it will develop into love later on, when you realize that actually you and that person have things in common. But guess what? A lot of people don't actually have time to know themselves. They don't have it. They're constantly on the go. They're constantly doing something else to pay the bills, especially in the Western world, in Europe, America. Ask anyone who lives in America. They will tell you that I've got 3 jobs. They'll finish. I know my cousin who lives there. She's a nurse. So she'll finish a nursing job. After she finishes a nursing job, she'll go for a cleaning job somewhere on the same day. And then before she goes to bed, she'll go and do an Uber transfer. So tell me, where is this person has time? That person never has time to actually to be quiet and to meditate, to actually understand themselves. So if you don't actually have time to know who you are, you can never, it's difficult for you to love yourself, because like we saw on that example, you can only love something that you know, that you've understood, that you've, so like another person, you can only love that person if you get to know them. But if you don't actually have time to know yourself, then you can never love yourself, because you don't know yourself enough. This is why we have outside influences all the time, grabbing our attention, luring us to this, luring us to that, luring us to this. Because why? Because we don't know ourselves. And these people who are selling products, who are advertising anything on social media, they know that people don't actually know themselves. They've never had time to heal. They've never had time to understand who they are. So that means we can come out there and sell any product to them. We can tell them that, okay, like this is trending these days. Blonde hair is trending. Hips are trending. All these features that are trending. So tell me how this is going to affect, let's say, 70% of women who don't have big hips and all these, body features that is trending right now. Why is it trending? Because they've looked around and say, okay, these are new things that they want to sell to the public. What do? Let's feed it through the social media. Let's feed it through the mainstream media. Let's feed it through and feed it through and feed it through, so that it goes in people's subconscious. We're seeing it all the time. Now we are believing that's the best. We all have to look like that. We all have to have big, thick lips. We all have to have big, everything has to be big ends. And what happened to the 70% of people or 80% of people who don't have those things? They're going because they don't know themselves and they don't love themselves enough. They're going to say, oh, this is how I'm supposed to look. They go in the mirror and they don't look anything like it. And they're going to start to spend money. People are going to have plastic surgery. Some are doing liposuction. All sorts. Why? Because now everybody's keep on following the trend. If you don't love yourself and know who you are and why you have come, anyone can manipulate you. And this is exactly what the media is doing. This is what the world is doing. This is what the world has been doing even in our youth. This is why it's important to heal yourself. When you heal yourself, you trust yourself. You trust yourself. It makes you to understand that you do not need external validation from anybody, from the society especially, because it's a trend. unfortunately, and people do not even understand this. It's a trend. Look around you these days. It's just a matter of just switching on Facebook, WhatsApp, any kind of social media platform. What do you see? You see all these gorgeous girls. I'll put that in quotation marks because gorgeous, because that's what society wants you to think that it is. But if you ask me, I have different opinions. I think everybody is unique. You are unique for a reason. We all came here on planet Earth to offer the world our own gifts. We have different purposes. So you don't have to look like everybody else. How boring is it that every time now you just look at someone, they all look the same, they have the same lips, they have the same enhanced body features. I just feel like it's so boring. God was not boring. That's why he made people who were different colors, different races, different ethnicity, different skin colors, different everything. But now we have to look at one thing because we have not healed. We have not healed. That's why we are looking outside ourselves to have internal happiness. That's not self-love. If you're going to look outside yourself and have all this everything that is not you to try to feel good about yourself, then that is 100% not BS. It's not self-love. It is not self-love. You have not healed. So you have to start by healing yourself. Like I was saying, meditate, get to understand who you are. When you are strong, how do we heal ourselves? Let's go on to that one. How do we heal ourselves? So this ties in. Heal yourself by look into your strength. I'll tell you a story, right? When I grew up, I'm left-handed. I'm sure you've seen that. I remember when I grew up, when I was young, in my culture where we came from, it was very strange when you see a child who's left-handed. And people they'll be like, oh, wow, some will admire it. Oh, wow, that is very strange. But most of the time, it was like people would look at you and think, something is wrong with this child. I had teachers who would force me to use my right hand. I had parents who didn't understand what would have happened for someone to end up being left-handed, the science behind it. So it was very difficult sometimes because every time I kept on having to be trying to take away my strength, which was my left hand, to use my right hand. Even though I ended up being able to write a little bit with my right, when my handwriting, when I compare it with my left hand, and what I've written with my right hand was never the same, because my left hand, that's where my strength was. But I was meant to, because society was telling me that something is wrong with using my left hand, use your right hand. So I was taking all the time fighting to eat with my left hand. I could not cut. I tried for years and years to try to cut vegetables with my right. I ended up cutting myself a million times. But because why? Because my power was taken away from me by society. And I was now trying to do what was against my nature. My nature was I'm left-handed and everything that I'm doing. So this is what we're doing. We're giving away our power because we are not healed enough. Okay. So instead of us concentrating on our strength, we are being stripped of our strength because of societal values and norms and expectations. So society is telling you, oh no, we all have to be skinny like this, we all have to be walking like this, we all have to look like this, and we're all thinking that that's what we need to do. You don't need to do that. You have to concentrate, look into your strength and see how you can work on your strength and elevate them. So instead of me, for example, taking away my strength and putting it on my right hand, I should have just continued improving my handwriting, doing things faster with my left hand, which what I ended up doing in my secondary school. Like when I went to high school, I said, oh no, I'm just gonna be me. I stood up for my ground. I said, I'm gonna be me. I started to use my left hand. I was one of the best fastest writers. I remember when I was in like second year in high school, I was actually a writer for that time. We didn't actually were doing computers. We needed someone who could write fast, and I was picked first because why? They said my handwriting was beautiful. I could write fast, and it was amazing. And why? Because I stood my ground, concentrated on my strength, which was my left hand. I used it to my own advantage. I became a school prefect. I became a head girl in my school. I was a public speaker. I was everything because I believed on my strength. And also another thing is, when I grew up, they used to say I talk too much, talkative. And I would try to not be myself and quiet and be quiet and all sorts. But I was talkative, yes. And I used it to my advantage. Look at me, I cannot stop talking. I used it for a motivation speaker. Wherever I am, people look for me when they're feeling down. So yes, I love being talkative because that's my strength. I like to talk. And when I talk sense. And when I talk sense, I help people. I heal people. And through that, I'm also healing myself. I'm learning. So heal yourself by concentrating on your strength. Some people are good homemakers. Some are good cooks. So concentrate on it. If you're a good cook, what can you do? Maybe you can even elevate it and open a business, open restaurant. Homemakers. You can do a decorating course. You're already a good maker. Decorating. And make a business out of it. You're talkative. Yeah, why not? Be a motivational speaker and make money out of it. So when you concentrate on your strength, not instead of you saying, oh my God, people say I'm talkative. Use it to your own advantage. If you are healed, you know what to do. If you are healed, you'll use all this strength to your advantage. So I'm talkative, yes, motivational speaker. I'm going to be a decorator and designing offices. I'm designing homes. I know people are making money, serious money decorating. I know people who've opened restaurants. Some are beautiful in baking because that's what they know. And they can do it well. So yes, concentrate on yourself instead of you waking up every day, looking at social media, looking at people who are not even real anyway. It's all airbrushed and it's making you to feel down. Instead of you are giving away your power. Wake up in the morning, meditate, feel what you came here for. Feel, external, what you look like is one of the least things that are important in this lifetime. What is important is why you came and how you can be a blessing to others. You can either be a motivational speaker, motivating people out of bed, motivating people to believe in themselves. You can decorate people's houses. You can cook. You can bake. You can be a doctor. You can be anything you want. Instead of you concentrating on negativity of how I'm bloated I'm looking, or how I've got pimples on my face. How is that serving you? This is just, it's like literally stripping away your power, what you came for, instead of you concentrating on what is important. Okay, so now let's move on. Let's see if this is, yes. Let's change. So another thing is, like we're saying, accept. Of course, we all have strength, but we also have to understand that we've got what? We have to accept our flaws. No one is perfect. Even the most beautiful woman that they'll see, or a man that they'll say the most handsome, no one is perfect. So by accepting our flaws, it's very important to help us to get to self-love. So if we know that, yes, I am not perfect, but what can I do about this? So this is why I say take time, take 5-10 minutes every day to understand who you are. Take time to understand why you have come. Take time to understand your strength and your weaknesses. By understanding your weaknesses is very important, is understanding your strength. Because understanding your weaknesses, when you work on them, is going to elevate you. So imagine you already have strength, and then you're going to work on your weaknesses. You are going to be a powerhouse, a force to be reckoned with. Why? Because now not only are you working with your strength, and you're also taking your weaknesses to be your strength, because you're going to work on them, and those two, you push them together. You are going to be unstoppable. No one can touch you. You are not going to be touched, because let's say, number one, for example, I would say I'm a good worker, right? That is my strength. When I get to work, I'm absolutely amazing. I'm efficient. I'm fast. I'm this and that. But my weakness, which I had to work on for a long time, is punctuality. I would know, for example, I start work at 8 o'clock. It doesn't matter what I do. I will try my best. I would always make sure I get in 8:05, 8:07. And this was consistent for a long time. And I said to myself, this got to be one simple, why? This 5 minutes, why? And I just had to adjust the times that I was coming to work, adjust the time that I was waking up, what I was doing beforehand. And then it helped me. I was getting out to work at 7:50. So that was one of my biggest challenges, being punctual for anything. Being punctual for anything. And also, I've realized a lot of people's flaws. You might wake up today, this week, and feel so motivated. You've listened to me. You've listened. I want to have self-love. I want to achieve my goals. I want to do this. And you're so motivated. So what am I going to do? I want to join the gym. This is most people. Gym. Especially January, February, everybody's on it. They're all motivated. It's a new year, it's a new goal. This is what I'm doing this year. I'm getting that ultimate body that I've always wanted. Okay, that's fantastic. But what's the problem? What happens down the line? Give it a few weeks. The routine. They were starting maybe 4 days. It went down to 3 days. To 2, 1, and not going at all. So quickly, not being consistent with the routine, because always thinking of problems and excuses and all sorts. If you have self-love and you have decided that this is what I want to do, guess what? You are going to make promises to yourself that you will never break. So, for example, I've decided I want to elevate myself. This is either through diet, gym, and maybe what I consume. I'm talking about social media. I'm talking about reading on here. I'm talking about maybe learning new skills and stuff like that. And also elevate myself. I'm talking about having a consistent routine in anything. Routine. So if you've accepted your flaws and you know that, okay, my diet is not up to scratch, I'm not eating things that are healthy, I have not been exercising consistently, I've been reading or watching things that are not really on my highest good, and then I've not really been consistent with any of my New Year resolution or any of my projects that I want to do. If you want to have self-love, you will have to accept these flaws and work on them. Change your diet. Try as much as possible to keep to the routine by going to those gym. Even if, okay, maybe sometimes you've oversubscribed and said, okay, I'll go for 4 days or 5 days in a week. Maybe because you've got other things, let's be realistic, that are going on. But at least if you say to yourself, if I go 3 days or 2 days per week, and that's become your routine, at least 3 days per week, that becomes your routine. You are going to see you're spending time with yourself. You are keeping that commitment to yourself and working on yourself every day through diet, through exercising, through what you watch and what you believe in. And without you even realizing, you are elevating and getting to the ultimate goal of self-love. And one of the most important thing is, whilst you are doing all this and accepting yourself and elevating yourself through consistency and exercising and accepting what you feel like has been, slowing you down and working on it, it's very important that you watch your circle. That is our final for today. Or is it 5 or 6? Watch your circle. Watch it very closely. We as human beings, we know we are social beings, right? So we always feel like, okay, if I was to stop talking to these people or one or two of these people, it's going to make me. No. If you love yourself, you're going to watch your circle and prune it ruthlessly. Why? Because some people actually are the ones who are stopping you from reaching this goal of self-love. If you have a friend who is constantly whinging, who has no goals actually in life, or who is stuck in a rut and they don't know how to get out of it. So, and I'll give you an example actually for you to understand what I'm saying. So I've got this lady that I know. I've known this woman for a long time. We've been friends for a while. But then when I started this journey, I realized I was spending more time of my day, 1 hour, 2 hours sometimes, talking, either face to face, either on the phone, just trying to motivate her all the time, because she wake up to complain about the same job, complain about the same people, complain about the same husband, complain about everything. But she didn't understand that the main factor in all these things, it was her. She could change her job. She could change her environment. She could change what she does for a living. She could change what she's eating. Oh my God, I am feeling so bloated. This is everyday story. She could change her diet. She could actually just go outside for a walk. No, it's not her fault. It's everything and everybody around. And I used to feel like after I've had a conversation with her, which was every day, I would feel tired, I would feel drained, and then it was stopping me from doing what I wanted to do. I felt like I was constantly motivating someone, and she was actually an energy vampire, because every time I stopped talking to her, I put the phone down, I felt like I needed therapy. I felt like I'm the one who is the problem. And I felt like I needed to heal when she was the one who needed to heal. And it was stopping me from getting to self-love. But I had to prune her out of my life. I'm sorry, with no apology whatsoever. I had to get rid of that energy from my life. Because why? Because it was stopping me to be the ultimate version of myself. And it was stopping me from reaching the ultimate goal of self-love. Because now I was feeling like I needed help when I didn't. Because it was draining me, it was stressing me, it was taking away all my valuable time. Remember, time that we don't have. If I was spending 1 hour every day, 1 hour plus every day on the phone, talking constantly of the same things and talking and motivating someone who don't want to change, in the end, it was taking valuable time that I could have gone that 1 hour to the gym. I could have done that 1 hour of meditation. I could have gone for a walk. I could have prepared for my podcast. I could have done other things. No, I was just constantly no. So watch your circle. It's very important. Or sometimes it's not even someone who is constantly whinging. It's someone who's constantly putting you down. There's certain people that I can see that you're elevating. They can see. Do you know, when you work on yourself from internally, it's so easy for the external to show so quickly. And some people can quickly catch on that, and those people that catch, they can try to pull you down. It's like crabs in a bucket. You'll be amazed how many people they've realized that now you're going to elevate, and they can't do it. What do? They pull you down. So you just think you've got 8 crabs in that bucket. If you see them, they're trying to climb out, and the other ones are constantly trying to pull you down. We have seen it so many times. Have you seen sometimes you go somewhere, you're looking all fly and everything. You're feeling it yourself. You have got that one friend that will look at you and say, that watch, it doesn't go with your outfit. Or maybe that hair, it could have done with a little bit of cutting. That is a crab in the basket. And do not this is why I always say, when you're healed and you've healed yourself, do not let external validation at all These are people, near seers, who are just going to be talking in your ears to try to demotivate you, because they know you're going far away. They know that you're doing the work and they can do it. And when they can't do it, they say, okay, if she's gonna go, I'm not gonna let her go. Because when they see you elevate and you leave that circle and you're going to be that greater version of yourself, it's going to make them feel like they're failure. So the only way they can stop you is to make you feel like you are not good enough. And when you don't feel good enough, it's going to make them feel great, because you're all going to stay in that bucket together. So watch your circle. And if people are not going to be supporting your dream and supporting when you go, it better you go on your own. You can start on your own. You're going to meet other people on the way who are on your own level of thinking, on your own level of journey, who have decided that they're going somewhere. You'll be amazed that you've got a new circle that is waiting for you, who can even inspire you, who can motivate you every day, than those people that you've known for 25 years that are still stuck in the rut, that have no goals and ambitions, and you just want to be with them because you feel uncomfortable to be on your own. Better you're on your own for a bit. It's just a season, but that season is enough. It's helping you to prune all those that you don't need, and it's going to help you to reach the ultimate goal of self-love. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and share this video with everyone. We want everyone to have the ultimate of self-love, and it's a goal that if we all reach, we're all going to make it in this lifetime. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.